a lot of English, like all experts. But in simple terms, this coffee bill is an attack on coffee farmers in Uganda. And this is not Anita Mong's bill, this is Museveni's bill. Museveni is the architect of this bill. Among and others are only enablers. This is not the first attempt. Museveni tried to take your coffee hiding behind Pineti. So this is yet another attempt, and he will not stop until we stop not just the bill, but the man himself. It is no secret. He has a very, very clear path, a clear trail behind him. Remember what happened to vanilla. Once upon a time, a kilo of vanilla was 300,000 shillings. And now, it's 10,000 shillings, I think. 3,000 a kilo. But the price of vanilla on the international market has not reduced. But now, it's just a few people, Sudhir San and a few people connected to the powerful are the ones that own Uganda's vanilla, all your vanilla. Not only vanilla. Abasogamuliwo, you know what happened to the sugar cane? It started by zoning, now you know how much a sugar cane is. The price of sugar just continues to go up. Same thing that happened to many other things, including Mairunji. Pineapples, etc., etc., etc. The people that come from West Nile, you know what happened to tobacco. No wonder you don't have thriving, distributors. You don't have Sportsman, Benson and Hedges, and all those other cigarette factories and manufacturers here anymore. It was deliberate. The people of Western Uganda, you know what happened to milk. Milk products have never cut prices, but your milk was controlled and given to one family, Museveni's family. You know what happened to our gold. Now gold is exclusively belonging to one family. And all the gold mines, if it's not for Janet, it's for Sale. If it's not Sale, it's Mohozi. If it's not Mohozi, it is Sodom and others. You know what is happening to our fish. You cannot fish on our God-given lakes, given to a few people. So me, I want to be blunt and say that all lucrative sectors are given to Museveni's family in a way of colonizing you further, of taking away your national wealth, of making sure they control your income, because only poor people can be effectively controlled. That is what Museveni is doing. These Anita Mongs, they are only tools. They are pawns being used. Forget the nonsense of cutting costs. That is a blunt lie. I mean, the same person that is claiming that is cutting costs has RDCs, useless RDCs. Now, deputy RDCs and assistant deputies. Sounds like a joke, but it's true. That is Museveni for you. The same person who claims he wants to cut costs has 82 ministers. Many of them, I'm sure he does not know them. That's the person who's claiming he wants to cut costs. He has presidential advisors. He uses 2 billion every day. He oversees the loss of 10 trillion shillings in corruption. The same person who could control it. It is under his protection that one of his courts smuggled a bill of 9.6 billion shillings. Apparently, like Comrade Weiss was saying, to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. That is the person who is claiming to want to cut costs. In the Dubai Expo, they spent 3 billion of our money just to hire a store. Omudala, Momoreso Dubai, 3 billion, million kumisa. The same person, the same regime that claims they want to cut costs, under State House alone, I mean, he claims he wants to merge, and that's a lie, it's not merging. Like Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi put it clearly, Section 4 of that bill puts it clear. They want to scrap UCDA and put it under Ministry of Agriculture. But the same person knows that we have URA, but he created the Revenue Intelligence Unit and he gave it to a known thief. The same person knows that we have Ministry of Health, but under State House, there is Health Monitoring Unit with a budget. The same person claiming he wants to cut costs. We have Ministry of Lands, but he created Land Monitoring, Land Protection Unit under State House. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You have IDG, but you have State House Anti-Corruption Unit. So, I mean, those things of saying they are cutting costs, it's a lie. It's a wrong excuse. But that's the Museveni that we have known all the time. They've said, save UCDA. It's helpful. Because indeed it's helpful. Yes, our coffee is not as vibrant as it was in yesteryears. But UCDA has been very helpful. Under UCDA, you've seen that coffee farmers have been happy. They've noticed a growth in the production of coffee, in the value of coffee, on the international market, etc., etc., etc. So, why then stop something that's functioning well to reduce it to a system of things that have failed? You have seen the corruption in the Ministry of Lands, even before the current minister. I mean, the same Lands Ministry oversaw the selling of national ranches to individuals, companies, and groups. And now, that's the same ministry under which you want to place our coffee. In brief, Museveni wants to place our coffee in the hands of Rwambirama, in the hands of Tumwesije, in the hands of, who is the permanent secretary? Major Chomokan. That's where Museveni wants to place your coffee. So this, in no uncertain terms, is an attack on the pockets of the coffee growers. And he knows who the coffee growers are. It is a plan to have a few people take your coffee and control you financially and economically. Also, the idea of putting a plant in Tungamo is not practical. Why? Because coffee growers are scattered all over the country. You have to tell me coffee from Bugisu has to first travel and go to Tungamo. And what was the logic behind that? Is Tungamo the most vibrant coffee growing district in Uganda? You know the reason why they're doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the spirit in which this bill was brought, I can tell you it is an attack. And I mean, God is wonderful. It works in different ways. And it among, in English there's a kind of tongue slip called a fruitish slip, where you accidentally spill the beans and say out what is on your heart. In Uganda, there's a mandwa wajitabatia muruzungu. Mandwa. In Uganda, waliwe mandwa jebaita bwanika. Kutemba no bale no byogera nga totegete. So, it's not very good to joke with this Maganda because they have that mandwa. Now, Anita, among all those coffee growers for voting Museveni out. They are looking for all avenues where you earn a coin and they want to stick for it. What they have done to vanilla, what they are doing to the lakes and all the water bodies is what they want to do to the coffee. And if you don't fight back, they will succeed. You remember these people wanted to take your land by bringing an amendment to ensure that when the government, and you know the government is Museveni, that when the government wants your land, they first take it and then tell you how much they will pay you. If you didn't fight, you would have lost the land. If you don't fight this time, you're in big trouble. So this is a way of clamping down on you. It is intended to impoverish you because poor people will always be beggars. That is the intention. The coffee industry, ladies and gentlemen, here in Uganda is sustaining more than 2 million families. Did you say 2.5? Yeah, in Uganda. 12 or 2? Families. Wow, not 2, I was wrong. 12 million families are surviving on coffee. And now, somebody wants to take them on their knees using this bill. And if you don't fight, my friends, that's exactly what you are facing. I request you to reject it firmly. But most importantly, and this is very important, please note it, that those that are presenting that bill and those that are speaking for that bill are not innocent. They are not only expressing one opinion. You know, this attack is a crime. It's a crime on you. Impoverishing people deliberately is a crime. It's supposed to be a crime. And these people speaking for that bill, for that deliberate effort to impoverish our people, they are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. They are part of that project. They are part of that plan. They have a duty. Their role is just to speak. Their role is a propaganda role. You need to understand this. In every attack on a people, everyone has a role. The military has a role to brutalize you. The so-called intellectuals have a role to go on TV, put on ties, and speak a lot of intellectual dishonesty to sanitize it. So this is an attack on people which will have dire consequences if you don't fight back. And those people speaking for it should be equally culpable. They are not innocent. So treat them just like their masters, because they are serving a role. Their role is a propaganda role, and that propaganda role is very, very effective in breaking a people. Very, very sadly, some of them are paid. Members of that affected group of people. I will say that again. Some of those are paid members of that affected group of people, because they know that the affected group of people will trust them and believe them easily. They are criminals too. Among those words, ladies and gentlemen, were not a mistake. Those are words of Museveni. Those are words of amongst friends. Those are words of amongst friends. Many of them are from here in Uganda. Have you seen them? Have you heard from them? Did you see them in Parliament on that day? I'm asking, did you see them on Parliament that day? Have you heard anything from them? Hopefully the first word they speak when they show up will not be Kyangulanyi tayagala Buganda. I hope this opens your mind. I hope this shows you that this regime attacks different groups differently. Nobody is safe. What happened in Karamoja when they took their minerals that would have transformed their lives is exactly what happened in Busoga when they crushed the sugarcane. That is what is going to happen to Bugisu, to Buganda, and many other regions in Uganda that benefit from coffee. Ladies and gentlemen,
members, you're all most welcome. Arish Kanu, my brother, and Obi, classmate, you're most welcome.